Michael Smith, a brother from another, right here on the Rich Eisen Show on NBC Sports on Peacock. Would you go into space, Michael? Would you go into space?
Hell no.
Come on.
Y'all can have that, man. I barely like amusement park rides. My nerves too bad for space.
No, I know that. I don't like roller
man.
coasters either. I don't like the drops or whatever. But just to go through it.
For what?
For what?
To see that you've been in outer space, to see it.
Thank you, Michael.
An angle of the world that you've never seen before, that few humans have done.
Have you seen the whole world?
Yeah.
You've seen the whole world already? You've been around the planet?
No, I'd like to. Well, plus, though, I just want to make sure that I could at least take a photograph and prove to Kyrie the world is not flat. At least I could do that.
I want to see Earth, not Earth. I want to see Earth first. I'll work on this planet first. No, thank you. I'm good. I'll live vicariously through the movies, through William Shatner and everybody else. But no, I'm straight on space, though. But thanks for asking. Though.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Michael Smith here from Brother from Another here on Peacock, right here on the Mercedes-Benz Vans phone line on the Rich Eisen Show. Okay, let's get into it. What's your take on what we heard from Shams at The Athletic as to the reason why Kyrie Irving might miss the entire season for the Nets?
It's on brand. I'll start with that. Some people are just on some other ish, and Kyrie is one of those people. And a lot of times I do respect it, that there are things to him that are bigger than basketball. I guess, and listen, this does not need my approval, but I do have an opinion on it. And I guess I'm better with this reported explanation than I am the conspiracy theory aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
At least he's not anti-science based on his explanation. He's trying to be a quote-unquote voice for the voiceless, which I would take exception to that because the unvaccinated population is anything but voiceless. Matter of fact, they're very loud. In many cases, loud and wrong, if I may say so. But nonetheless, they're well spoken for. So I don't think Kyrie Irving. I don't think the unvaccinated need Kyrie Irving to be some sort of professional martyr for them. But if that's his choice, I'm actually prepared to take my cue from Sean Marks and the Nets and move on. I love that they made their choice, same as he made his, and that they were trying to compromise and work around it. Because they definitely have enough to still win the championship. They're not overwhelming favorites. But as far as they're concerned, this should be no different than a player missing a season because of injury. And they certainly got a lot of experience playing without one of their big three last year due to injuries. They added to their lineup in the offseason. So, listen, Kyrie going to do Kyrie. And Kyrie, as we know, is not about to be peer pressured or reasoned with when he's got his mind made up on something. That's who he is. That comes with the package. Good for him. Do you?
Michael Smith here on the Rich Eisen Show. I had a similar approach that I take a little bit of disagreement in calling, a lot of disagreement in that the people who are unvaccinated is voiceless. I was pointing out that there's a 3-hour block on the most watched cable network on television in the United States of America talking about vaccine mandates in a manner that Kyrie Irving would agree with, apparently.
I would argue that they might even have louder voices given the position
right.
that some of those voices occupy in our country.
Right. And I've seen videos of anti-vaxxers overturning COVID testing sites tables on the streets of America. I've seen, actually disruptive behavior that shows up on my timeline on my phone. But you're right. Maybe you should take the cue, and we should all, from Sean Marks, of that's your decision. We're moving on. We'll chat with you if you have your change of opinion, and we'll pay attention.
Here's the truth of the matter. They all come and go. All of us are temporary. The show goes on. We all know that in this business and every other business and every other walk of life. So the NBA is going to have a great 75th season, and the Nets are going to be great with or without Kyrie. So if this is what he wants to do, if this is important to him, Godspeed.
Michael Smith, a brother from another, right here on the Rich Eisen Show. We are taking you to his show with Michael Holley at the top of the hour as our show precedes theirs every single day on the NBC Sports on Peacock lineup. How did John Gruden's resignation hit you, Michael?
How did it hit me? I like how you phrased that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's start with the obvious that when he was merely behaving like a racist.
I don't mean to laugh, but I understand.
For him to remain as Raiders coach, as evident by the fact that he coached on Sunday, and Mark Davis and Moore knew about those emails for quite a while before the New York Times report in which he was exposed as behaving in a homophobic, sexist, misogynistic, so on and so on manner, that he just couldn't survive it. It seems like we've reached something of a dead end. I'm not holding my breath as I take a deep breath. I'm not holding my breath that the NFL is going to be transparent, given that confidentiality was promised on the front end of the football team investigation. And I think what we've seen with Gruden and now prominent media members' practices coming out in the wash, that there's just too much here, both legally and in terms of learning how the sausage is actually made when it comes to this product here. There's just too much here at stake for the league to actually release these 650,000 emails and the rest of the findings of this quote-unquote investigation. And I say quote-unquote investigation, I don't even know that it was actually legitimate. I know they fined Snyder $10 million, but you're not going to tell me that the most salacious and the most egregious and the most unethical thing to come out of an investigation into Dan Snyder's organization is John Gruden's emails, or for that matter, Adam Schefter's. Like, there's a lot of skeletons in this here closet. Forget racist bones. There are full-on skeletons in this here closet. And for what I understand, this rabbit hole not only goes deep and wide, but it goes high. Now, I haven't seen some emails myself, so I wouldn't dare, report this or name names. But my understanding is that there are people in the NFL office that are pulled into this and whose addresses and whose emails are quite questionable, that if that got out, that's a whole nother set of problems. So Gruden was not even the tip of the iceberg. Gruden was a drop in the bucket. I've said the last few days, this is the largest societal issue about how people like John Gruden speak in private. And it's not just that they have these opinions that run counter and detrimental to societal progress in general and NFL inclusivity in particular. What the problem is how these beliefs manifest themselves in their actions. And I'm just talking about John Gruden and his personnel decisions or his coaching decisions. I'm talking about CEOs and business owners, politicians. These are beliefs that are widely held. They just aren't typically said out loud or in writing. And there's a lot of these people. There's a lot of people saying the same types of things still in 2021. As antiquated as it may sound to some, far from it. And my fear is that while Gruden took the fall for this investigation, and while Gruden is getting all the attention, there are still people that are walking, talking, and acting in and on these same beliefs about women, about black people, about the LGBTQ community every day. And it's going to take a long time before this system and the people that perpetuate this system are actually smoked out. John Gruden's will come and go. Racism, I don't know how much you guys, watch the Avengers, it's like racist, sexist, misogynist, homophobes. It's like Hydra, man. Cut off one head, two pop up in his place, So I'm not moved by John Gruden's firing or his removal from the Bucs Ring of Honor, because I know that the world's going to keep spinning. It's a dirty world, and we just got to figure out a way to kind of keep living in it.
Well, what do you say, Michael Smith, to those that I've read the tweets as well, and I'd love to have you be the one to give me your thoughts.
I'm sorry, you've read the tweets what? I lost you there for a second.
No, I've read the tweets on my Twitter account. We haven't really discussed it much here, and I figured I'll have you, take the floor on it. That Gruden's out, but there are those, there are those who are going culture warrior, that the NFL is having people who have used offensive lyrics be the primary entertainment act of the Super Bowl, and others who have broken the law, actually run afoul of the law, given second chances to actually participate in the NFL, and Gruden is the one who is canceled. What do you say to that?
Well, I'll just, and I know you aren't using this. I'll just.
No, I'm. Trust me. I was talking about how yesterday, the social media culture warriors in our profession. It's a great day for them for clicks, but yesterday was a great day for those who believe words matter. And also public health trumps all, because, Kyrie and the Nets, that was resolved in that manner yesterday. So it was a great day for a lot of people yesterday, is what I was saying.
Yeah, no, just the word cancel and the buzzword of the day, cancel culture, for accountability, for growth and evolution. And, I'm all for cancel culture. Let's cancel racism. Let's cancel sexism. Let's cancel misogyny. It's a false equivalency that I even hate to have to lower myself to address.
Well, then you can move on if you want. I just thought I don't want to. If you don't want to,
no, I don't mind.
I don't
mind. No, I'm not. That's not. I don't mind. I'm saying because I know it's out there. But the part about the rap lyrics in particular, like the same people always. That's at the top of the playbook. It's like, let's talk about rap music. Like that's entertainment. And I'm not saying that entertainment doesn't matter, but that's completely different than somebody in a position of power and authority and influence espousing the views that John Gruden did. Not to mention, look, let's just call it what it is. Dude went at the commissioner sideways. Come on now. And at the end of the day, he was bad for business. Like, I've always been hesitant, Rich. Don't get me wrong. I've always been hesitant when it comes to legislating morality, or even when it comes to conversations about, what's the right amount of games under the personal conduct policy that this guy should get for hitting a woman versus this guy should get for an accusation of sexual assault versus this guy should get for deflating football. It's like, it's certainly not comparing those two things. I'm saying there's always, there's never a perfect answer into what punishment should fit the so-called crime. So it is a slippery slope for sure to take John Gruden out of the Bucs Ring of Honor while Warren Sapp, for example, remains and Antonio Brown is still playing. It's business, it's optics, it's PR. And I do agree that if we were to open everybody's proverbial closet, there'd be a lot of people taking out a lot of halls of fame and rings of honor removed from their positions. But that's not what's happening here. What happened here is that over 7 years, John Gruden made some statements that are unacceptable, and they're bad for business, and they tarnish the shield. Now, the real question is, if John Gruden weren't, 12 games under 500, whatever he is, the real question is, if John Gruden were more successful, would Mark Davis have made that same move? Would he have still had no choice? Or was it rather convenient? He certainly seemed to want to keep him, like I said, when he was just a racist. But no, listen, I get it. But we can't get distracted from the issue at hand and say, if we're going to hold John Gruden accountable, let's not have rap music at halftime. Like, that's not the same thing. And if we got to explain why it's not the same thing, I just kind of question the motivation of the people that's trying to draw that false equivalency. So, no, I was happy to answer the question. I'm just saying, like, you kind of just know it's always the same types of people. There's a Venn diagram when it comes to the rest of their views on society in general that go straight to the whataboutism playbook. You know what I mean? I do.
Well, who's on your show? Who's on your rundown? I assume these two items that we just mentioned here. It's kind of a preview of what you're doing. Okay. Well, anytime.
Where you at, dog?
Seriously, you call me. You just let me know. You have my numbers. You know how to reach me.
I got your digits. I got your math. Mark J. Spears from the Undefeated is joining us today. Our boy Jason Johnson's coming through today from MSNBC. Mike Jones from the Washington Post, who spoke to DeMaurice Smith, is coming through.
Okay, great.
And doors always open. We'll leave the light on for you. You know what the key is.
Anytime.
You can always just fall through if you feel like it.
Same for you, as you know. Thanks for the call, Michael.
Kirk out.
There you go. Kirk out. Kirk out. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.